Good morning. It's Friday. 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 September 8th, 2017. Good grief. This week has felt like it has taken forever. And it was a short week. Monday we had off for Labor Day. And it still feels like we were at school for 9 days in a row. Not necessarily because of anything bad that happened, just the time went by super slowly. I think I was more looking forward to being outside in this nice fall weather and enjoying some sun and some breezes, and being cooped up in the classroom was less enjoyable than that. But there's a balance to everything. There's a time for work, there's a time for play, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I didn't mean to make that rhyme, it just happened this time. Oh man. So balance, finding the balance. As a person in his mid-20s, soon entering his upper 20s, it's hard for me to find the balance between being a young adult and being an adult. I think I do a pretty good job. I think sometimes I lean more toward the older adult side of things. I talked about this a little bit last year about how I wanted to act more my age, just to make myself feel better physically. I think sometimes we get too much into our heads that, oh, you gotta grow up, gotta be mature, gotta act like this, and then your body starts to feel that too. So it's just important to me to remember to goof off once in a while. Yesterday afternoon, Ellie and I were at home waiting for Mary Jane to get back from work, and we just watched the end of Tangled, the Rapunzel movie, and they were playing a pretty upbeat song during the end credits, and I just started bopping around the room. Ellie was standing over in the corner. She was just kind of like, what in the world is going on with that? I was kicking my legs, I was flailing my arms, and just having a good time. And then she got into it. She started laughing, and then she started trying to kick her legs out, and she was wiggling her arms around, and we danced around the living room for 10 minutes. It was fun. And part of that is because she's a toddler, and she gets enjoyment out of that. But the other part is for me, why do I have to stand there all stoic and just pretend like there's not an upbeat song playing in the background? I don't. So you find the balance. Okay, nobody else is around. Ellie loves to dance. Let's dance. Take a note from Footloose. Thought this was a party. Let's dance. Kevin Bacon? Anybody? So finding the balance. Also at work. In your job. You don't have to be 100% serious all the time. You can make jokes. You can laugh about things. You can be a little silly. I'd go crazy if I wasn't able to be silly with my kids in the classroom. It would bother the heck out of me if I had to be serious all the time, and they wouldn't respond to it. They would get bored, they would get restless, and it would be a lot harder to teach them. So you gotta break that wall once in a while between business and pleasure, and help them to meet in the middle. Finding balance between clean and dirty. I won't say dirty, I'll say messy. Clean and messy. Neat and messy. Let's put it that way. Forget I say clean and dirty. Let's say neat and messy. Sometimes things are going to be messy. The majority of my car, 82% of it, is neat. It's vacuumed. It's fine because nobody ever really rides in here. But the trunk has some stuff in it that doesn't need to be in there. But there's really no other place for it right now, and it stays closed. There's, on the floorboards of the passenger side, there's some papers and things that I probably could throw away or go through and sort out. It's a project for another day because it's not bothering anybody right now. And then the center console here is, it's got my camera mount and my school keys and stuff pickups, stuff like that. So, that's messy in a sense, but the car overall is neat. It's not like I'm buried in containers from fast food restaurants or anything. But there's definitely some stuff that could be picked up to make it neater. And I'm just not doing it because there's a balance there. Would I feel more at ease if it wasn't there in the corner of my eye, egging me on, saying, pick me up, throw me away? Maybe. I like a tidy place. I like a neat, organized space. Whether it's bedroom, classroom, car, garage. I like things to be tidy and organized, but I don't go around deep cleaning every other day because it's not necessary. If somebody's coming over to visit, I'll run a brush and a disinfectant wipe through the bathroom. Just, to make it smell nice, to make it sparkle, be ready for a guest, because that's, a special occasion, a different thing. I'll clean off the kitchen counters, I'll put things away, I'll scrub the floor. I don't know. My wife is going to see this and say, no, you won't. I'll do it. But if it was my responsibility, if I had to do it, then I'd do it. But it would probably be an hour before the people showed up, not 3 days before. It's just the way I operate. And some of you might think, oh, it's because you're a typical guy. No, it's not because I'm a typical guy. I'm anything but a typical guy. You can ask anybody that's ever met me. I am the last thing you would ever come to before typical. It's true. Ask them. Google it. J&V. J-A-N-V-E. There's a dude in that car. Maybe it's Jean-V. Maybe it's something exotic. I don't know. But yeah, find that balance between whatever the two things that your person is arguing against. You're drawn to be like, should I do this or should I do that? Find some balance. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little mambo number 5. And just sort it out that way. And then whichever one you can't stand more, that's the one that deserves more of your time. In my opinion. I use that phrase a lot, in my opinion, because I think it's important to note that none of what I say is factual, unless I say it's factual, and then it's factual. Does that make sense? Good. Because opinions are yours and yours alone. Nobody can take it from you. I've been over this before. My sister and I have argued on it ad nauseum. But sometimes there's a time to fold laundry and sometimes there's a time to watch a movie. Find the balance. Sometimes there's a time to cook a nice meal at home. Sometimes there's a time to call in a pizza. Find the balance. Sometimes there's a time to be stoic and mature and somber. Sometimes there's a time to tell a joke and goof off. Be berserk. Find the balance. I'll see you this afternoon.